Okay, y'all, we are back. Um, Thank you all for watching. This is Night Flame, and today I'll be giving you an episode of Marvel Solicitations. This is gonna be for the month of August. I just finished filming the DC one, and the footage of the last 30 minutes was erased just because I wasn't paying attention, and I guess it froze in one of the Harley Quinn solicitations. And it's funny because I was not seeing the best things about that issue or the solicitation, so kind of karma on my end. But now I'm using a second monitor, so I'm kind of looking to make sure it's not freezing there. So if you see me looking at the side, it's because I'm trying to make sure that everything is being displayed correctly in the recording. So I just want to make sure this runs smoothly. I also put my glasses on because I was struggling to read in the last video. Now everything looks clear, so we can definitely get on with this video. So I'm just gonna fix this for a little bit. Okay, cool. So the solicitations for Marvel came out yesterday. I did not fully look into it. I'm gonna treat it just the same as I did for DC. It's gonna be kind of like my first look at it, and I'm gonna pull the ones that I'm gonna purchase, and then I'm going to obviously skip the ones that I'm not gonna purchase. So we'll see. We'll talk about the covers. I'm gonna try to go quicker on this one just because I was taking so long the first time around, and I just want to make sure that we do this fast. So let's start off with Midnight X-Men issue number 1. It says an all-new, all-disturbing universe begins here. The clock strikes midnight and it's the dark dawn of the new era. The shadows of New York City are stalked by vampires and the mutant empires. The sword of Damocles hangs over the peace between these two species and the factions within them. An outright war is brewing, and the unturned will be caught on the crossfire. Blockbuster comic book writer Jonathan Hickman returns to the X-Men with a hunger for blood as this new world of terror reimagines the heroes of the Marvel Universe. The artist for this is Matteo De La Fonte. As you heard, the writer is Jonathan Hickman. And then the cover artist for this is, I think it says DK Ruan. I'm gonna start learning these artist names because I don't want to butcher them. I want to give them their credit. But you can see the cover right here, and it looks dope. This is the cover from DK Ruan. They actually unleashed the full cover for this. This is Storm that is being hidden. I think it's going to be an acetate cover, which means that there's going to be a clear cover in the beginning that you can kind of move out the way, and then you'll see the full cover. But yeah, this is interesting. It looks like it's the answer to the Absolute Universe, which I get. The Absolute Universe has been doing crazy numbers, and Marvel is trying to reheat those nachos, but I don't know if that is the case with this. I don't know. Something about this just doesn't seem like anything crazy to me. It just seems like a natural monster story, like a what if story. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. I'm going to pick it up, obviously, because I trust Hickman and I love the X-Men. And I like how this has to deal with vampires and obviously Kurt, Nightcrawler. He's a very religious figure. He loves God. He's very religious. So him being the main character, I'm hoping would make sense. It would be a cool perspective, but I don't know. I also think the art is going to be great because there's been some teasers of Matteo De La Fonte's art, and I think that's going to be good. So just based on that, I think it will be good. The main cover, this is from Bjorn Barends, which shows the mansion, and then it looks like Storm. I believe maybe Storm will be like the first person that gets infected. It might be, and then we can see Xavier here. And this is a movie homage variant cover. I don't know what movie it's homaging to. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm not that big into horror films. And then there's a lot of TBD variants that they haven't been decided yet. This comes out in August 5th, so we're gonna get more information in the upcoming months. I'm going to get the main cover for now, but we'll see. I mean, I'm excited. I'm an X-Men fan. I can't say no, but I'm not fully like buying it. Okay, next is DNX issue number 1. This was solicited last month, but I'm guessing they're soliciting again. It's interesting because it's not even gonna come out until September 2nd, so it is what it is. I think they're just trying to create hype. Okay, this is DNX number 1, the X Virus Unleashed, the X Men in 3K, each steered by an original heir of the Xavier, each with their own vision for the mutant people, each at one another's throats. Cyclops and the Chairman both experienced the future of the Age of Revelation and came home with a renewed mission, the X Men to prevent that future. 3K to own it. While the X Men seek The Fantastic Four to help save one of their own. The White Beast begins his plan to unleash the X virus in a major populated area. Evolution is contagious. So essentially, the solicitation says Cyclops and Beast, who were sent to this Age of Revelation, if you guys didn't know, I think it happened like a couple months ago. They came back and they came back with information, right? Cyclops was trying to stop Revelation from causing that Age of Revelation, and then Beast, the evil Beast, the white one, which I'll show you in a little bit, he came with the mission to cause Revelation, right? He wants that to happen. Like he wants 3K to make that virus, the X virus or whatever they call it. Is that what they call it? I don't know what the virus is called, but they want that virus to be spreading and essentially cause Age of Revelation. So we'll see. I mean, this is like riding on the coattails of Age of Revelation. So if you like that, you're probably gonna enjoy this. I wasn't a huge fan. I don't think Jet McKay did anything incredible in Age of Revelation. It honestly felt like, I don't want to say a momentum killer, but I don't know. I'm not really enjoying the X-Men run, if we're being honest. This is the main cover by Carrie Andrews. This is going to have the gimmick of the blind bag, so you're going to see a lot of variants. So I'm just going to skim through them. But I'm not a huge fan of this cover. I'm not sure why everyone is so like chiseled and square, but you know, we'll see. This is a connecting variant by Federico Vincentini. This is one of the blind bag variants from Puppeteer Lee, I believe. This is a John Tyler Christopher negative variant. I think that's what I call it, negative space variant. And this is that white beast that came from Age of Revelation. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. It looks like my thing froze. So let me fix that real quick. Okay, you're gonna see me struggle. You see, I'm glad I can see. There we go. I'm glad I can see the second screen now because sometimes this freezes and I gotta fix it. But yeah, so just quickly, so that's the main cover. That's the Federico Vincentini variant. That's the Magic from Puppeteer Lee. The John Tyler Christopher variant. This is a Ryan Stegman variant from The Thing and Colossus. The blind bag. This is how it's gonna look like. And then this is Marco Cicchetto variant. They fixed this because he initially drew Psylocke with her old costume. They fixed it to her new one. This is a connecting variant. I'm not sure who draws this, but it's a connecting one. The Virgin one for Puppeteer Lee. This is from Chip Zdarsky. The negative space variant. This one is done from by Ken Lashley, and that's done by, I don't know. I'm gonna look into it right now. Okay, I'm gonna get a blind back from this one. We'll see. Oh, actually, the Scotty Young one. I don't even need to see it. I love Scotty Young, so let me get the Scotty Young one, and then I unfortunately am the main victim of these blind bag gimmicks. Like whenever one comes out, I just really like want to get one, and you guys probably don't know because I never made a video on it, but I actually got super lucky with the Daredevil one. I pulled an original sketch cover by Greg Land, so I have that framed. I'll show you one day when I'm showing like, I guess, my greatest possessions of comics, because honestly it's a grail for me. Like that's very personal, and I wasn't expecting to get one, right? Like I think the chances are so slim, but I got lucky, so that's kind of like my prized possession. So hopefully we can get lucky with the X-Men one. I'm gonna buy a good amount of them. I think I already ordered like 5, so we'll see, but no more than 5. I don't want to make Marvel think that we're eating this up, you know, because if a lot of us buy a crazy amount, Marvel is gonna think that they have a hit in their hands. But regarding the story, this is written by Jet McKay. The artist is Federico Vincentini. I'm excited for the art. Once again, like I said, I didn't enjoy Age of Revelation, so not too sold on this main story, but hopefully Jet McKay can turn it around. Work his Moon Knight magic. Okay, we're on the road to 1,000 with the Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue number 34. I don't know what the legacy numbering is. I think it's 998. But it says clean up on Al Manhattan. Spider-Man is back in the swing of things thanks to Reason team up with the all new, all different damage control until Electro short circuits Spidey's big plans. So Electro's coming back. This is written by Joe Kelly. The art is done by Ed McGuinness. This cover shows Electro and Spider-Man. I like it because the logo is created by the lightning coming out of Electro. And then this variant is the 50th anniversary, I'm sorry, 60th anniversary of Mary Jane since she was created, and is drawn by Chris Anka. And that's pretty much it. There's more variants that they're not showing because this is an early solicitation. It looks like Libra Mayhew is going to do one, Ryan Stegman. There's going to be a Brand New Day movie variant, which I'm sure will just be a picture of Tom Holland. Yeah, so cool. I'm going to get the regular cover. I like when they make the title card with, like, effects or whatever. I think it's cool. Should be fun. I'm not really sold into it. I was a huge fan of that Spiral. I'm not like enjoying Joe Kelly's run when it's not focused on stuff like that. Like him building up to this 1,000. I'm not too excited yet. Like he really needs to sell it for me. Mind you, I haven't read the latest issue because I haven't gotten it yet, but um, we'll see. I'm optimistic, so I'm definitely supporting it, but it hasn't been my favorite Spider-Man run. And it has been confirmed that Joe Kelly will continue post issue 1,000. So, let me reset my screen capture again. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, let me know if y'all can see it. Okay. So next is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 35. Damage control comes with a cost. With only one issue before Amazing Spider-Man 1000, Spidey will be tested like never before by Ghost Spider. Damage control status target creates a Babla with the wall crawler. Just how far is Spidey willing to go? So they keep talking about this damage control. We haven't seen it yet. We'll see what that is. I think it's cool that he's meeting Ghost Spider. I feel like there's a lot of story to tell there. I haven't seen them interact that much, but I've also haven't read a lot of comics in the past couple of years because I'm just getting back into it. But it's interesting, because she is Gwen Stacy, right? So there's a sort of like relationship there, just based on that alone. But I mean, I'm excited. I like this cover. I like Gwen Stacy. I do like Ghost Spider. And then this variant is for that game, Token Fighting Soul. Um, should be fun. I mean, this is the last issue before we get that big 1,000 issue. It looks like David Nakayama is doing Spider-Man Brand New Day variant. Should be interesting. Alexander Lozano is doing one too, which I think I might get that one. He is the artist, or he was formerly the artist on Moon Knight, I think. So I do like his art, and hopefully it includes Ghost Spider and Spider-Man. But yeah, and then here we go, issue 1000, or otherwise known as Amazing Spider-Man issue number 36. It says the biggest issue in Amazing Spider-Man history. Spider-Man faces his greatest fear and his most frightening new villain in decades, Ravage. Plus, some of the greatest minds on Earth honor 1,000 issues of the Amazing Spider-Man. Noah Hawley makes his comic book debut. Frank Miller and Peach Momoko collaborate for the first time. Stuart Eminem and Brian Michael Bendis return to Spider-Man together, and some of the best Amazing Spider-Man creators return to the title. So it looks like it's a celebration of previous creative teams, which should be fun. It's 104 pages, $10, which is literally the price of a trade paper bag. Yeah, this is interesting. This cover is done by John Romita Jr., but I think I forgot his name. It's Paulo Rivera maybe. He colors it, and honestly, he does it justice because I have not seen John Romita Jr.'s art look this good in a while. So I like this cover. There's a lot of variants though. This is done by Pepe Larraz, and I guess that's Ravage, which is interesting. We'll see if he's compelling as they're making him out to be. What else? As you can see, there's a lot of variants. Interested in the J. Scott Campbell one, Umberto Ramos one should be dope. Obviously, Alex Ross, Patrick Gleason. It should be fun. There's a huge Scotty Young. I don't even need to look at the other ones. $10. Definitely, I'll just get one because 10 is a lot. We'll see. So yeah, it should be fun. Next is Mary Jane Face the Tiger. This is a one-shot celebrating the 60th anniversary of Mary Jane. It says 60 years ago, we all hit the jackpot. Back in Amazing Spider-Man number 42, we all got our first real look at Mary Jane Watson, and 60 years later, we're still reeling. In that time, she's been a party girl, OTP, and even Venom. To celebrate MJ's story run, we present three stories of three different MJ eras and an epilogue that points towards the future of the inimitable MJW. Um, it looks like the writer or one of the writers included is Nocenti, Ashley Allen, who's been doing the Magic series lately, JD DeMatteis, and then J. Michael Straczynski. Should be interesting. It's $5. I mean, I do like Mary Jane, but I don't know if this is really needed, especially if she has like her own title already, right? Why couldn't we make an issue of Venom and call that the 60th anniversary of Mary Jane? I feel like this is just a cash grab in a way, unfortunately, but it is Marvel, no shade. A lot of ratio variants. There's a David Nakayama one. This is the regular cover. It looks like it's done by Jim Chung, I think is his name. Yeah, which is cool. It looks like a lot of people familiar to MJ in the back, and then the variant by David Nakayama, which I think is nice, and then Spider-Man and Doc Ock in the back. I'm gonna get that David Nakayama variant. Um, should be fun. Let's see if it really delivers with like a teaser into her future. Okay. I believe this is ending with issue number 10, and then we get the third act of this Infernal Hulk thing. Okay, hold on. It looks like my thing froze again. I wonder what's happening. I might have to just reset it, but at least I'm catching it on. Okay. Next is the Infernal Hulk issue number 10, Banner versus the Infernal Hulk. The heroes have lost their last chance to stop Infernal Hulk, except for Bruce Banner himself. As Hulk closes in on New York, Banner and Dr. Voodoo risk their lives and souls against a terrifying enemy. Failure will mean eternal enslavement and torment, but success could give them the only weapon that might bring victory against Infernal Hulk. Meanwhile, another secret weapon joins the fray, Charlie Tidwell herself, the skinwalker Lycana. Um, Interesting. The thing with this that I don't know if a lot of people are talking about, Philip Kennedy Johnson has been writing the Hulk series for quite a while now, and he's been building up from his previous runs, right? His previous volumes. So unfortunately, if you've been reading this since issue number one, yes, it's a fun book, but you also feel like you're missing a lot of context, and that's what I've been feeling. So I need to dig into the old issues when he started writing the title, because this is something he's been building up for a while. So before we get this third act that he's going to be writing, I think I'm just going to get caught up because I do feel sometimes a little lost. Like, how did this come up? Like, I just jumped into it when he became the Infernal Hulk, but like, what was the lead up to that? Um, let's see. So this is the main cover by Nick Klein, which looks dope. And then we got the Umberto Ramos 60th anniversary Mary Jane one. And then we get this, for some reason it says Inglorious X-Force. I don't know if this is right, because why would it say Inglorious X-Force? But okay. And then we're going to get some TBD ones and one from Mario Cascioli. I'm going to get the regular cover for this. We'll see. It should be an exciting battle, the last issue of this volume, and then we get the next one. I'm not sure. I mean, I know the answer, but why can't we just continue a series? I think it's more disrespectful to launch a number one and for it to be building up from the previous run. Because that's how I felt with Thor. Like, yes, Thor relaunched, but like the number one didn't feel new reader friendly. And I think this one doesn't also feel new reader friendly. Why can't we continue the next story arc with issue 11? I mean, we know the answer because number one sell, but it's just unfortunate. Next is Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number one. I'm excited for this. So it says the next era of Miles Morales Spider-Man starts now. Miles Morales is back in the red and black. Spider-Man thinks he has it all handled. Homework, supervillains, a new school crush? No. Miles is focused on what matters, helping the good folks of Brooklyn, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at his best. But a vengeful villain from Jeff Morales' past with S.H.I.E.L.D. threatens to destroy not only Spider-Man, but the entire Morales family. Superstar Brian Hill and Nico Leon join cover artist and Marvel Stormbreaker Simone DiMeo for the next great Miles Morales adventure. I actually ordered this already because they solicited it ahead of time last month. I got this awesome cover from Simone DiMeo, who is a Stormbreaker as mentioned. I don't know what this duck cover is, but it looks interesting. This is the 60th anniversary variant by Carrie Andrews. I also got this one by Pablo Villalobos, and then the Scotty Young one I got as well. Besides Cyclops, um, Miles is actually my second favorite character from the Marvel Universe, so I kind of went all out for him because I genuinely am excited. And I know that a lot of people like Cody Ziegler's run, and people got upset that they're mentioning a new school crush here. But I actually wasn't a huge fan of Cody Ziegler's run, if we're being honest. I really wanted to like it because I missed reading Miles, but I just thought the way that he wrote the character was not it. You could tell that he really was trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, and I just wasn't enjoying it. But that's my opinion. I know some of y'all enjoyed it. I saw a discourse on Twitter that a lot of people were upset that he has a new school crush because they liked the character that Cody Ziegler paired Spider-Man with. But I like a new beginning. I like a little reboot. Especially getting back to this costume, which I think is iconic. I prefer this over what he was wearing before. But I know a lot of people don't like that because it's a reset on the character. It's not building up on anything. But we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for this. But hopefully it's good. Continuing with the Spider-Man titles, this is a miniseries called Spider-Man and Hulk: Fire and Brimstone. Twip and Smash. Legendary writers Kevin Smith and Andy McElfresh team up with superstar artist R.B. Silva for the newest high-octane adventure for Spider-Man and Hulk. It's non-stop action, side-splitting quips, and the exorcism of Bruce Banner? Question mark. Um, yeah, this is gonna be a skip for me. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not huge into miniseries because why would we invest in something that's not even gonna last? And then also miniseries tend to never like stick the landing. It's always just a one-off story, and that's pretty much it. I really want something fresh, and I don't think we get that from this book, unfortunately. And I think my thing froze again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let me reset it again. I'm glad I'm catching it though, because this video would have ended a while ago. Okay. Um, Sorry, y'all. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I'm not gonna read this. If y'all enjoy Spider-Man and Hulk and their team up, definitely get it. But yeah, I don't like investing that much in miniseries, specifically if I feel like there's no end goal. And this just seems like a regular adventure. Next is Fantastic Four issue 15, the 60th, 65, 65th, 65th anniversary spectacular. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'll probably think that I am someone that can't read, but trust me, it's just been a long day. It's the 65th anniversary of the Fantastic Four, and to celebrate, we got an extra large, extra fantastic adventure for you, starring everyone's favorite adventurers, spanning centuries of history and a universe of scientific progress. The Fantastic Four have been defeated, with their personal arrows of time reversed. They're careening into the past with no hope of salvation, unless a complete stranger can find out what they need. But even if she does, they will only get halfway home because there's still a threat in the present that's waiting to kill them. And that's if they can arrive there alive. This one issue you won't want to miss because you have to wait 65 years for anything like it. Okay, they're really like advertising this. Plus Johnny's mustache saves New York City? Question mark. Featuring classic images by Jack Kirby, John Buscema, John Byrne, and Steve Epting, seen in an entirely new way. I have faith from Ryan North. He's been doing really good on this book, so I'm sold. I think I already ordered this as well, though. I got the regular cover for this, I believe. This is that spot foil cover, which is nice, and then that's pretty much it for now. They do have other artists like Chris Anka and Nicoletta Baldari doing variants, but I'm going to stick with the regular cover for now. Okay, next is the Mortal Thor, issue number 14, an Asgard milestone. Thor, issue number 800. The Serpent has trapped Sigurd Jarlson in the worst of all possible worlds for his greatest trial. Now, without even a weapon in his hand, he must prove himself worthy to enter the realms of the god. Somewhere in the city, a man without even a hammer begins his ultimate quest, the quest for Thor, plus bonus stories including a thrilling new tale by Chris Condon and Jesse Lonergan. Oh, yeah. It looks like the writer for this is Al Ewing, the another writer Chris Condon, and then Kieran Gillen is doing a story as well, and then the artist that they're advertising is Jesse Lonergan. Should be interesting. I do love the covers by Alex Ross. Obviously, he doesn't miss. And then this cover is done by Ryan Stegman. Um, I'm not gonna get this. Like I mentioned, I tried to get into this book and I just couldn't. It just was not for me, and you could tell that it's building up on something like a previous volume, and I just didn't want to invest in it. And unpopular opinion, but I'm also not a huge fan of Pasquale Ferry's art like that. It really took me out of the story the first time around, so I'm gonna be skipping that one. Next is Captain America, issue number 14, A Soul for a Soul. Bound together in an unfamiliar war zone, Captain America and Victor Von Doom are after the Anti-Divine, a sword powerful enough to destroy Mephisto. But someone else also has the eyes on the weapon. Can Steve stop Doom's first love from destroying Victor as his own soul hangs in the balance? The writer is Chip Zdarsky, the artist is Tom Lima, and then the cover is done by Valerio Schiti. Awesome cover. Valerio Schiti does not miss. And then Kava does the variant, which looks like it's Stephen Hell. Um, and then the video game variant, the Fighting Souls video game. I'm gonna get the regular cover. This series has actually been really, really good. If there's a series that you need to read from Marvel, it's this one. It's really been building up to Armageddon well, and the cliffhangers have been crazy. Next, speaking of Armageddon, it's Avengers Armageddon issue number 3. Civilians riot, villains rise, and heroes fall. The entire globe is thrown into chaos as the Armageddon rages on. With the rest of the world turning against the Avengers, what will they choose? Stand down or fight against Red Hulk? Even as he seems more and more unbeatable, and when an unstable new power takes center stage, the Avengers and the world will need all the help they can get. Wolverine sends out the call, Avengers assemble. So it looks like the crowd is turning on the Avengers. They're taking the side of Red Hulk. In a way, this feels kind of like a political commentary, which I like. Um, yeah, I love Chip Zdarsky. I love what he's been doing. Delio Diaz is a good artist as well. So is Frank Alpizar. I think this is going to be fun. And DK Ruan does the cover that you see here. There's obviously more variants, but they don't have images for those. It looks like we're going to get one from Phil Noto and then a Torin Clark one from Mary Jane, which would be nice, but it feels off because she has nothing to do with the story. So I'm probably just going to get this regular cover. But yeah, I'm excited for Armageddon. We'll see what happens. Chip Zdarsky has been building it pretty well, so I have faith. Next is Ultimate Impact Reborn. It says Captain America joins the fight. Miles Morales and Iron Man recruit Captain America to defend against the scourge of the Ultimate Negative Zone, Hostilicus. I think that's how you say it, Hostilicus. What side is a newly born Wonder Man really on? Will reality bending Sightseer master her frightening power before it's too late? Even if Hostilicus is defeated, the ultimate gem of Sidorak powered mogul scheme grows in the shadow. To what end? So they just name drop every single new character. I'm assuming all of these are the new characters. She's playing in Ms. Marvel's closet, it looks like. Obviously, this is synergy with the Marvel Universe because of Wonder Man. Let me reset it again, y'all. This is so annoying, but there we go. I'm guessing this is the one with the Gem of Sidorak, and then Hostilicus, I guess, is this one. We'll see. I haven't read issue number 1. It really depends if I like issue number 1 or not, if I'm going to continue this Reborn thing. I don't know what they're doing. I personally feel like this is kind of like the last nail in the coffin for the Ultimate Universe. So we'll see. Who's in the variants? David Parator, Peach Momoko. I'm going to wait and see, but for now, the main cover. Next is Black Cat, issue 13. Black Cat crosses Punisher's path. Black Cat burns through her 9 lives just to stay one step ahead of the vengeful Punisher, who is gunning for Felicia Hardy with every weapon in his arsenal after her huge mistake. But Black Cat still has one lucky trick up her sleeve. I was wondering, why is the Punisher everywhere? But then I remembered he is in the Spider-Man movie, so they're really trying to push Punisher, 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 which I don't mind. I do like Frank. But yeah, we'll see how this story folds out. Initially, they said that this was going to be up to issue 14. Now people in the comments are saying it's going to continue past issue 15. I'm hoping it is. It's not been a bad series, but I'm also kind of like giving it more chances because I didn't enjoy the last issue that much, and I'm waiting to see what direction it goes. So hopefully the story arc can kind of make me fall in love with this book. But it's been good. It's been good. I can't lie. It's just not been my cup of tea. This is the regular cover by Jose Maria Casanovas. G. Willow Wilson's the writer on this. She's been writing Poison Ivy for DC. And Andres Genelit is the artist who's new on this book because we used to have, I forgot their name. But yeah, we had a different artist before. So that's the main cover. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. I don't know why she's cheesing like that. She has that bright smile, um, which is interesting. I actually like this cover. It is a little crazy, but I like this. This is from Lee In Hyuk, and then this one's done by Jeremy Wilson. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. The face looks a little crazy, and then this one is done by Nogi San. I'm probably gonna get this one. There's a foil variant as well, which is interesting. We'll see how that looks like, but for now, I'm gonna get this one. I think it just looks good. It's a good cover. Next is Venom issue 261. Venom's oldest enemy returns. Long ago, a friend of Reed Richards had a problem, an alien costume that didn't want to come off. Reed Richards blasted it off with a sonic weapon and imprisoned it for study. It seems like a good idea at the time, but now he's got to work with that alien to save the world, and Venom holds one heck of a grudge. So it looks like it's gonna be a team up between Venom and Reed Richards. This is a Queen in Black tie-in. We'll see. The writer is Al Ewing, and then the artist is Carlos Gomez. I've actually really been enjoying this series. It's one of the series that got me back into comics as well. Carlos Gomez is a really good artist, and then Al Ewing has been doing a great job with this book. And we don't have any variants to show, but this is the main cover with Reed kind of holding Venom hostage, and we'll see. Um, Not much from variants. There's a Jeff Shaw Isekai variant, which should be interesting, but I like this main cover. Okay, another Queen in Black tie-in. Actually, this is the main Queen in Black book. It says the Codex is the key. Hela wants him as her secret weapon. Noel just wants him dead. Dylan Brock's survival might be the one thing Venom and Eddie Brock agree on, but at the end of the world, can they work together? All this in the raw licking return of the Fantastic Five. I do not know who the Fantastic Five is, but this cover by Ryan Stegman is cool. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this Mary Jane variant. It's kind of on theme because of the Queen in Black, and I like all these Venom things, and obviously she's gonna be in the book as well. So I think I'm gonna have to get that one. Let's see who else is doing variants. A lot of TBDs. Yeah, we're gonna get this one. I just think it looks good. It's very reminiscent of another cover that Inhyuk Lee did. I think for issue number 1, so I like that. Okay, so another one shot, Queen in Black Thor, issue number 1. As Beta Ray Bill battles Hela at the edge of space, he considers his role as the heir of Thor's story. Little dreaming that the story continues with Sigurd Jarlson, or that the Death Goddess had plans for the mortal Thor. Somewhere in the city, a man with hammer is about to face the ultimate test. Um, I'm gonna skip this one. This is the cover done by Pasquale Ferry. I don't like what they're doing with Thor. I get it. You know, something happened. He's trying to find his place, but I just wish we got the old Thor back. You know, it's been a while. Bring him back. Yeah. Next. Queen in Black, Defenders of the Light and Dark, issue number 2. Light and Dark collide. The Defenders have taken the fight to the dual threat of Hell and Null, choosing offense over defense to save the Earth, but will infighting and tragedy combine to seal the fates of Team Dark and Team Light before they can complete their desperate mission? Or will the mysterious and dangerous Plan B turn the tide in the seemingly unwinnable battle? The fate of the world hangs in the balance between the forces of light and dark. The writer is Tom Waltz, who co-wrote the Null series, and then the artist is Zay Carlos. And then we get a cover from David Marquez and TVD variants. This is an immediate buy for me. I love Cloak and Dagger. I main them in Marvel Rivals. It makes sense to include them in the story because they're literally the definition of like light and dark. Like she has light powers, he has dark powers, and it makes sense. So I'm excited to see what role they play. An instant buy, and this cover by Dave Marquez. Chef's kiss. We continue with another Venom issue, but this one focuses on Eddie Brock. It says jailbreak. Sleeper has broken Eddie Brock out of prison, only for him to return to the Queen in Black trying to take over the world. Eddie wants to try to help, or at least to go protect the people he loves, but Sleeper has other plans. Written by Charles Soule. The artist is Juanan Ramirez. I think Juanan Ramirez was doing Null, so I'm excited to see his art back. This cover's cool, and then that Sleeper breaking him out. I like Charles Soule as well. He's written Eddie Brock for a couple of issues already with Carnage. I'm excited for this. I think it'll be fun. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not even gonna bother reading this, or should I? I guess I will. Marvel Token for Strike. You're invited to experience the Marvel Universe like never before. As Marvel Token Fighting Souls makes the debut on gaming systems near you this fall, don't miss out on this exciting anthology showcasing brand new high octane adventures from Marvel Token Universe that you won't get anywhere else. From show stopping brawls to deep abiding mysteries, this one shot acts as a companion piece to the upcoming 4v4 fighting game. It's written by Josh Trujillo and Steve Orlando and Tom Waltz. It looks like it's going to be like maybe small issues. Okay, well. So it looks like it froze again. Give me a second. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm definitely going to look into it. Okay. So it froze on the Cloak and Dagger. Just to go back, this was the Venom cover, and then Sleepers here. And I love Venom and how he looks. Cool cover. And then this is that Marvel Token thing that I was talking about. Um, this is the main cover from it, and then this is the variant by Ryan Stegman. Um, I've read some of their anthology books like this when it deals with video games, and I just feel like, yeah, it's fun. And if you love the games, go ahead and do it, but it is just not for me. With the amount of books that I'm picking up, I think I really want something with substance. Next is Jeff the Land Shark, Superstar issue number 2. Meet the Jeff Coast Avengers. Jeff the Land Shark's new family takes center stage as Mojo tries to create a hit show starring Jeff, Dazzle Storm, Magic Hot, and an attack by a group of angry man sharks. How will Jeff get out of this one, and will his friends back home be able to rescue him? Written by Kelly Thompson, art by Toki Tokoro, and then the cover artist is Gurihiru. Um, I love Gurihiru's art. I think this is interesting. I did not know this was a miniseries. I think it's only 5 issues, and because of that reason, I'm gonna have to skip it. I do love Jeff, but I really hope like they could just commit to an ongoing. So yeah, that's skipping for me. Okay. If you guys are fans of the Godzilla Conquers the Marvel Universe or the Multiverse, there's another book coming out written by Gary Duggan, art by Javier Garron. The cover is actually done by David Marquez. Cool. I'm not a Godzilla fan to skip for me. Next is The Tomb of Apocalypse, ancient and unfathomable power. From his exile in space, the shadow of the the mutant called Apocalypse looms over all life on the pale blue dot from whence he hailed. Once dedicated to ensuring the strongest and fittest mutants would inherit the Earth, now Apocalypse's attentions have turned to a new deadly undertaking, for which he will need the unique abilities of Jubilee and Wolverine. It's written by Ashley Allen. The art is done by Domenico Carbone, and the cover is done by Rod Reese. Ashley Allen has been working on the Magic books. Domenico Carbone has been doing the art for Moon Knight here and there. So the art will be good. Someone on Twitter said that this was synergy for X-Men 97, and I didn't get it till now. It makes sense. They're really trying to push Jubilee and Logan because they're going to show soon. Yeah, and I think it should be a fun book. I think Ashley Allen is a good writer, but yeah, I don't want to commit to a miniseries. Next is Bishop number 3. Bishop versus the Brotherhood. Bishop and his sister Shar fight tooth and nail against the stone. Yet another member of the final Brotherhood who has traveled across time and space to hunt Bishop down. But can the siblings truly counter the sheer force of the Brotherhood's dark mission? Or will they crack underneath this onslaught of foes? This is written by Saladin Ahmed with art by Mario Santoro and then the cover by David Parator. This is the 3rd issue, and we don't have any variant yet. That's the cover by David Parator, and the variant is TBD right now. I'm not a fan of Saladin Ahmed's writing. I'm so sorry. I tried. I really tried. I tried to read his Spider-Man. I tried to read his Daredevil, his Wolverine as well. I just don't like it. He has a very specific style of writing. He likes to infuse humor with it. It just doesn't resonate with me. So I'm skipping this one. I will be getting issue number 1 though, just to give it a shot because it has a Scotty Young variant, but I don't foresee myself continuing that. Next is X-Men Outback issue number 3. From the quantum realm comes a new threat. Lying low in the Australian outback, the X-Men have seemed to find peace. That is until the ancient necromancer Yagadiara arrives from the quantum realm seeking to end Colossus Rasputin's bloodline for good. How can Piotr and his comrades succeed against the sorcerer's cosmic threat? Will Yaga's undead magic stamp out the Rasputin line for good? Steve Orlando's the writer. The artist is Steven Segovia. The cover artist is Russell Dodderman, which I love. I love his art, and I wish he was doing interiors again, but he's been kind of like out of doing interiors for a while now. I'm happy to see his like rendition of the X-Men. I'm picking up issue number 1 for this. I don't think I'm picking up issue number 2. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it like that, to be honest. It's not an era of the X-Men that I like, you know, really cared for. But the covers are great. The covers are great. Next is Gambit Wanted number 2. Bullseye. Gambit's got some good aim with those kinetically charged cards, but does he stand a chance against the maniacal marksman known as Bullseye? The X-Men want Gambit to join, while Bullseye wants to take him down. What is Bullseye's endgame, and what more sinister force stands to profit from the mutant hunt? So it looks like it's a story in the past. I thought it was in the present, but it looks like it's something in the past before Gambit joins the X-Men. He's going to be fighting Bullseye. This is written by Chris Claremont. The art is done by Robert Gill. This is clearly an answer to... Let me reset it one more time. It looks like it froze again. Yeah, here's the cover for that, for the Gambit book. Yeah, Chris Claremont is a writer. He's obviously like a legendary X-Men writer. And clearly they wanted to get a book out for Gambit because he was really popular in Marvel Rivals. But I'm tired. I'm tired of these like miniseries and 5 issues only for these X-Men characters. Initially I was eating it up, but now I'm like, why can't we just commit? You know, like let's commit to pushing up a character and promoting them like that. It just feels so annoying to have miniseries after miniseries. And no offense to the creators. Chris Claremont, I know you are legendary, trust me. Robert Gill, you're an incredible artist too, but bring in fresh faces. Like, we want to see a reinvention, you know? Because Chris Claremont is going to give us the usual that we know that he'll give us, right? And I don't know. It just doesn't feel like they're doing anything new. This is $4.99 for some reason. It's just the price as well. It's like premium. I don't know. I will say skip for that one. I'm not going to pick it up, but I am picking up issue number 1. Next is Wolverine number 25. Bat Medicine. Healing factor gone, claw shattered, and now the medical miracle that is probably bringing to his knees stands poised to wreak havoc, powering the mutant monster more. Written by Saladin Ahmed. Artist is Martin Coccolo. And then the cover is done by Dan Panosian. We're going to get a variant that showcases a screenshot, I guess, from the Wolverine video game coming soon. And then there's more variants as well. This is coming from the storyline where apparently his claws break, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Saladin Ahmed's writing, which is unfortunate because I think the art in this book is really good. Martin Coccolo does a great job, but yeah, I'm skipping this one. And then this is a continuation as well. Looks like they're getting a second issue a month. It says Return of the Savage Champions. The game-changing Savage Champions return, and this time they need Wolverine. I don't know who they are. I'm guessing that's them. And then that's the Fighting Souls variant cover. And this is a Nogi-san, I think. Yeah, Nogi-san variant, which is nice. I really like this. And then Paco Medina's variant, 1/25. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this. I'm skipping. Generation X-23 number 7. Logan carves a path for the next generation. Meeting X-23 was shocking enough. They'll miss it when the generator cross paths with the OG Wolverine. But Logan's in a bad way, and only his crew can help him. I'm assuming this is coming from that Shattered storyline where his claws break. I'm guessing the Generated is the group of mutants that Laura saved. Um, I try to give issue 1 and 2 a chance. I love Laura as a character, but it just felt very repetitive. Like, we've seen her do something similar to this before. This is written by Jody Hauser. The art is done by Marco Renna, and then the cover is done by Partha Pratim Sarkar. And then this is the variant by Riki Yagawa, which is nice. It's cool, but yeah, not for me. Next is Inglorious X-Force, issue number 8. The enemy is always evolving, the secret behind Cable's lost memory. The Mutant Liberation Front makes a startling move, and Domino takes extreme action. The players are in position, and the fallout will either save the future or doom it. I gave this a shot. I think the mystery is not compelling enough to keep on reading it. The writer is Tim Seeley, and then the art is done by Luca Maresca. Here we have the cover by R.B. Silva with showcasing Cable, and then the Fighting Souls variant. I mean, I like the team and I like the characters, but I just don't really care for the mystery at hand. So I'm going to be skipping that one. Okay. Next is X-Men United, issue number 6. A malevolent spirit has entered Grey Matter Lane, turning friends into foes and allies into enemies. As fractures appear across the X-Team, can they come together to defeat one of the most ancient and powerful mutants of all, the Shadow King? The writer is Eve L. Ewing, and then the artist is Tiago Palma. The cover artist Stefano Caselli, who used to do Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther. And then this variant is done by Adam Gorham, I think is his name. I might be mistaken, am I? Yeah, Adam Gorham. There's going to be some variants. Gleb Malkinov, the Fighting Souls variant, Torrin Clark, which I love. But I don't know if I'm going to get this issue. I don't like what they've been doing with this book. It seems like a character assassination for Cyclops. Like, they're really pushing him and making it seem like he's this bad leader, to be honest. At his expense, they're trying to make it seem like this Grey Matter Lane is incredible, and for some reason he's not accepting it, and he's acting totally out of character. So haven't been enjoying it. I think I'm going to skip it because the last couple of issues have not been my thing. Next is X-Men number 35, DNX Prologue. Hank McCoy, the bouncing blue beast, is haunted by a ghost. Not of his past, but of his future and his present. The chairman of 3K, an older, immoral version of himself, represents one of the greatest threats the X-Men have faced since the fall of Krakoa, and Beast must struggle with his own terrible potential. The writer is Jack McKay. Art is done by Tony S. Daniel. We see this cover here where we see Beast and then his counterpart from the Age of Revelation in 3K. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been enjoying this story arc or whatever. But this is the main X-Men title, and it will feel very disrespectful to drop this series. So as an X-Men fan, a longtime X-Men fan, I'm going to have to get this. Okay. It looks like we're blessed enough to have a second issue. This is X-Men number 36, another prologue for DNX. It says 3K works towards a viable build of the X-Spires, brought back from the Age of Revelation. Until now, they've been frustrated, but when the chairman realizes that the missing piece of the puzzle lies within Magneto, 3K moves on the X-Men's home base in Alaska. So it looks like Magneto's in danger. The writer is Jack McKay, the artist is Netho Diaz, and the cover looks crazy. Like, they're about to kill Magneto. That's the variant for Fighting Souls, and then that's a Rod Reese magic variant. I'm gonna get this regular cover. We'll see. Not much thoughts with that. I already said what I needed to about DNX. Okay, next is Uncanny X-Men issue number 33. It says Wild Ride starts here. Gambit's condition is worsening, causing an unexpected shakeup in the roster of the Uncanny X-Men. But is it merely magic that is taking over his form and behavior, or is it something far more sinister? Rogue desperately tries to save her husband in our most disturbing story yet. Gambit's been kind of acting up for a while now, ever since the monster showed up. I mean, ever since he took the Eye of Agamotto. So it looks like we'll continue with that. They're saying there's going to be a roster shakeup, so we'll see what that means. The writer is Gail Simone. The artist is going to be Leo Chano Biccio, which I've been enjoying his art in the last couple of issues, but I do wish we got David Marquez back. I think the book is at its peak when David Marquez is on the book. And This variant covered by Juan Gary is really good. And then that's that Fighting Souls thing. I'm gonna get that Juan Gary variant. I just like my classic X-Men team, so that looks good. The regular cover, it's okay. We'll see what happens. I think this has been definitely the better X-Men book, but not by a long shot. And then number 34, Wild Ride continues. In desperation, Rogue takes Gambit for help to an unexpected, unreliable source, and the cure might be far worse than the disease. Meanwhile, the Outliers struggle to act out in the absence of two people they have been come to rely on the most, just as a voice of malice from the past returns, and who is a terrifying being known only as Repent. So it looks like maybe two members are leaving the team. We'll see who replaces them. Um, this is the main cover by Luciano Baccio. This is by Carlos Gomez, the writer on, or the artist on Venom. And then that is a variant done by Scott Forbes. I'm going to get that Rogue variant. I do like that a lot, actually. So we'll get that. Yeah, I said what I needed to say about that series. I've been enjoying it, but I'm hoping it can be better. Next is Wade Wilson, Deadpool number 7, Revenge of the Bad Pools. If you thought Wade Wilson was bad, wait until you get a lot of these horrific offshoots of the Merc with the Mouse. But even more horrific is what they want with Wade, and now Blind Al. The writer is Benjamin Percy. The artist is not going to be Jeff Shaw for this. It's actually going to be Alex Linz. The cover is done by Jeff Shaw, and then this variant is done by Adam Polina, I think is his name. Todd Knock does a variant, and then Robinson, I wonder, Robson, Will Robson does the 125 variant. I'm gonna get this regular cover. I've been enjoying this series. Hasn't been anything incredible, but I do like a very toned down Deadpool, and I think we get that from him here. Let me once again reset. There we go. So I'm getting that one. Okay. X-Men 97 season 2 number 3. That's a mouthful. The Four Horsemen have arrived. X4 has touched down in Madripoor to apprehend Pestilence, one of Apocalypse's four horsemen. But when the battle culminates to reveal a much deeper threat, can Cable rally the team together to face the unimaginable, or will they fall to Apocalypse's looming shadow? I'm guessing this is tying into the show. I don't really care for it, so I'm gonna skip this. But if you're a fan of the show, get it. Punisher number 7, Damaged Goods. Frank Castle's one of the most dangerous tactical minds in the Marvel Universe, but for all his firepower, he remains just a man. In this issue, one of his failures directs itself kicking and screaming and bleeding to Frank's door to look him dead in the eyes. The writer is Benjamin Percy. The artist is Farid Karami. The cover is done by David Marquez, which looks super crazy. Yeah, we'll see. This is potentially one of Frank's results, like maybe of his violence, which we'll see. The variants, there's a lot, but I got to give it to my GOAT, David Marquez, and good pick for an artist. I know Farid Karami used to do the Avengers book, so great guest artist. Next is Spider-Man versus Punisher number 2. The Amazing Spider-Man and the Punisher may have a lot in common, but their differences are like a time bomb waiting to explode. As they both are visited by familiar faces such as Mr. Fantastic and the all-new Smoke Show, someone lights the match, leaving both heroes and New York's criminal elements in the blast radius. The writer is Dan Abnett. The artist is Matteo Delafonte, who's going to be obviously the artist in that Midnight X-Men book. The cover is done by Jonas Scharf, which looks good. But once again, this is synergy for the Spider-Man movie. At this point, the movie would have come out, so people can go pick up this in the comic shop if they wanted to. I'm not a huge fan of miniseries, as I mentioned before, especially these ones where like it's just like going to give you a glorified story. To be honest, nothing of substance. So I'm gonna skip that one. Next is Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity issue number 5. Red Goblin returns. Miles Morales, Gwen, and the other spiders' worst fears are realized as they do desperate battle against Carnage. This isn't the final exam the students of Spider-Versity studied for. The writer is Joe Kelly, and he co-writes it with Jordan Morris. The artist is Pere Perez, and then the cover is done by Giuseppe Camuncoli. There's a lot of variants, but none of them have been revealed. Apparently, this is a mini series, which is a shock to me because I thought it was an ongoing. Because they canceled literally his series, her series, both these series, and then Silk a long time ago. So I thought they were just gonna put all of these characters together, but it turns out it's a mini series, unfortunately. So that sucks. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it has a good conclusion. But I just hate how they never advertise this as a miniseries. And Marvel loves to do this. They love to be like, yeah, this was supposed to be a miniseries all along, but they never really say anything. So, I mean, I'll get it because I've been picking up the previous issues, but yikes, I was hoping it would last longer. Next is Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day number 4, Darkest Before Brand New Day's Dawn. There's no stopping Mr. Negative now that he has the lexicon, the directory of Kingpin's entire criminal enterprise. But nobody tell that to Spider-Man. He's still going to do whatever Spider can to do to stop the crime lord from weaponizing it, and the Punisher against all of New York City. Written by Dan Slott, art by Marcus Martin, Marcus Toe. Yeah, whatever I said about Spider-Man versus Punisher, similar thoughts apply here. I also read issue number 1, and it was not my cup of tea. So yeah, we're skipping that. It looks like it's a bunch of what if books. There's some substance here. I'm gonna go through quickly on them, to be honest, and okay, it ends there. Okay. Um, so there's what if Runaways, and it says what if the Runaways hadn't run away. So it looks like they're going to stick with their family and maybe build an empire with their family. It's written by Rainbow Rowell, who's been doing a lot of the Runaways in the previous years. The artist is Sulema Scotto Lavina. I don't know if she's done the art for the previous Runaway titles, and the cover is done by Lucas Wernick. I'm a huge Runaways fan, believe it or not, actually. I liked what Rainbow Rowell has been giving us, so I'm going to be picking this one up. Let me... Sorry. Okay. Next is what if Captain America issue number 1. This is what if Captain America was revived in 2099. So instead of being revived in the present, he's revived in the future. The writer is Mark Guggenheim. The art is done by Ron Lim. The cover is done by Lucas Wernick. We get some variants here. Yeah, not my cup of tea. We're going to skip that one. It says, what if X-Men? What if Cassandra Nova killed Professor X? So this one, I feel like it's interesting. It deals with how Jean and Emma are the only ones that kind of like defect from the team, and now they must battle Wolverine, Cyclops, and Rogue. This should be fun. I think it has a fun twist. We continue. Sorcerer Supreme number 9. Weapons of Torment. Scarlet Witch and the Quantumancer must free themselves after being sucked into the Extinction King's newest machination, a deep black hole called the Torture Star. Stripped of their magic within the dark void, they'll need a miracle to make it back to Earth. It's written by Steve Orlando, art by Bernard Chang. I read the first couple of issues. Another one that's not my cup of tea. Very magic heavy. It's also building up a lot from previously what Steve Orlando wrote, which is crazy because, like, why don't you just give him a title called Scarlet Witch and, naturally progress the story? But he's written multiple miniseries and it all leads up to this, and yeah, we're gonna skip this. Next is Doctor Strange number 9, The Last Rites of Lord Strange. Stephen Strange must find a way to return his soul to his body after his erratic alter ego Lord Strange is maimed by the dark entity Downfall. Can he put himself back together in time to destroy Downfall and find his progenitor? It's written by Derek Landy. The artist is Ivan Fiorelli. The cover artist is Alex Horley. I've tried giving this a chance as well. Also not my cup of tea. But it looks like it's gearing up to his final issue because I think it will end in issue number 10. Next is Doom Quest number 4. This is a long one. Doom finds his consciousness inside the body of someone with no power, no standing, and without anything beyond what this poor orphan boy can scrounge on his own. Which is to say, Doom finds his consciousness within his childhood self. But now, with the knowledge of what is to come, Doom finally has a chance to do things differently and better. He can make different choices, win different battles, rather than travel an ocean to study in America, where he would meet his hated rival Reed Richards and become disfigured. He can stay in his home country with his first and only love, a beautiful and clever young Liberian woman named Valeria. It's a journey uh, to the center of Victor Von Doom's himself as he discovers how wildly different his life could have gone and the price he must pay to keep such victories. Written by Ryan North, art by Francesco Mobili, the cover by Alex Ross. So it's like a what if story of like what if Doctor Doom never left Liberia, which sounds interesting to be honest. And the creative team behind it is what really is selling it for me. So pull. Civil War Unmasked. I'm gonna skip this one just because it's like not even relevant to be honest, and I haven't read issue number one. It just feels like a rehash of a popular title, you know. So I'm skipping that. Captain Marvel Dark Past issue number 5, A Familiar Affair. Witness the final confrontation between Captain Marvel and the Desecrator in a battle that will push Carol's power to their limits as she finally learns the truth about the Danvers family legacy. Written by Paul Jenkins, art and cover by Lucas Wernick. The art in this book is great. The story really didn't sell me, so I'm gonna have to skip this. Next is Iron Man issue number 8. Whiplash's Revenge. Tony Stark's been distracted with his new role as teacher, his new love life, his company, and his time as Iron Man hunting for Madame Mask and AIM. Iron Mask. One of Iron Man's greatest enemy has resurfaced and wants to turn Tony's life into a living hell. Whiplash has amplified his whips to hurt Iron Man in a brand new ways. But to really hurt Tony, Whiplash knows he must target the people that Tony loves. Mainstay artist Carmen Carnero returns to kick off the next great arc. So maybe the past two issues we won't get Carmen Carnero. It looks like she's returning for this issue. It's interesting to see Whiplash. I'm actually really excited for that because it's been a while. Joshua Williamson is the writer, and then Carmen Carnero is the artist. The cover is done by Ryan Stegman. The variant by Lara Lee Licks. And then this cover by Fabio. I love the regular cover, so I'm excited for that. Next is Mark Spector Moon Knight issue number 7. It says House Hunters. Jet McKay and Devmalia Pramanik continue their sense-shattering and fan-favorite saga as the Midnight Suns make their presence known. With Moon Knight's closest allies, the Midnight Mission, ensnared in the gullet of an interdimensional relative of their living headquarters, Mark calls on Clea, Blade, Ghost Rider, and Daredevil to form a new incarnation of Marvel's occult operators, and they're about to blow the doors off. Written by Jet McKay and art Dev Pramanik. The cover is done by Pablo Siqueira. I'm actually really excited for this book. I love Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, so I'm excited to see him because it's been a while. And yeah, I like the idea of the Midnight Suns. This is one of those books that Jet McKay actually really knows how to write, so I'm excited. I think he's perfect for Moon Knight, so yeah, this is an instant buy for me. Okay, last issue before we end the video. Now let me reset because I think okay, there we go. It's Daredevil number 5, and it says, and your enemy's closer. As the vicious attacks perpetrated by the monstrous and mysterious new figure Omen hit closer and closer to home, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is more paranoid than ever, keeping his oldest friends just out of reach and getting up close and personal to finish what Omen started. Art by Stephanie Phillips, cover and art by Lee Garvett. Yeah, I've been enjoying this as well. It's been fun. Issue number 2 wasn't as good as issue number 1, but I'm still enjoying the mystery that's happening here. And apparently Stephanie Phillips mentioned that this is the finale to the first story arc. So excited for this. We'll see. And I might have to get this Gabriel Del Auto variant. We'll see how it looks like. But for now, the main cover. So that's it for Marvel's Solicitations. It looks like there's going to be a lot of facsimile issues and then Star Wars and all of that. So let me know what you guys are excited about. I am excited for my usual titles. I'm excited for Queen in Black. Obviously, Miles Morales coming back. Spider-Man issue 1000. That should be a big, big deal. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Um, Unfortunately, I am a little disappointed with Marvel's books, and I'm hoping they can turn it around. They're going through a shift because I forgot who recently resigned and got replaced. So we might see a shift in comics soon, hopefully for the better, because at the end of the day, if Marvel is doing good and DC is doing good, the only people benefiting are comic book fans. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping for um, a like renaissance in Marvel where we can definitely enjoy these books that are coming out. But for now, I'm a little hesitant, especially for like the Midnight X-Men and all these other things. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys recommend me anything in this list down below. Thank you all for watching. We will do the image ones when the solicitations for that come out, hopefully on the weekend. Tomorrow I have my signing with Pornsack for Absolute Green Arrow #1, so I'm excited to go there, and hopefully I get my comics for the week tomorrow. I'm still waiting on my shipment and delivery. They were supposed to be delivered today, but it actually works out because I'm gonna get my comic signed tomorrow, so I can show that off in the video. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe and comment on anything you're excited about. Are you excited for August for Marvel? Let me know down below. And once again, thanks for watching.